So this is a woman talking from a position of pain. And she's like, how can somebody who promised, because we make that promise, maybe we don't even remember or we don't even think about the words. We take, the vows we take at the altar. In the process of the wedding. You promise to take, you said it before God, in the church of God, you promise. Only one, because the Bible says one man, one wife, one husband, one wife. Then, as time goes on, you begin to see some other person or persons that you think you like or you love. And then you now say, I'm falling out of love with the person you made a vow with. Is it that easy? And then you bring in another person, just like this one. She said, this is somebody who promised to love her. And then she now saw him, not only did he have an affair outside and keep it outside, he brought the woman inside the house and made her his second wife and took privileges out from her, because he said she was displaced from her bed, from her room, which means it's that she went to share her children's room or she went to the guest room. So the cars that she used to, that they were available to her before, suddenly she started jumping bus. I want us to be, we are church people, and we can say, okay, yes, but I don't want to take anybody's pain for granted. Seriously. I don't want to take anybody's pain for granted, because you can see this woman is bitter, and rightfully so. You cannot just come to her, or you cannot just come to her and be saying, oh, why are you angry? After all these years, why are you angry? No. We are humans. We have emotions. Is it okay for somebody to tread on your head or to maltreat you and think it's okay? It's not okay. It's not okay. Because men, I'm talking about men because men are the ones that normally fall into this category. Okay, look at that, because after, like I always say, like when morning comes, there will be evening, there will be night. When night comes, there will be morning. And the Bible says joy comes in the morning. So when that night passes, just like the night has passed, the night season has passed for this woman, her morning has come. And she's now happy that her husband is now in the season of night. But the thing about this season of the night for the husband is that except she and her children have mercy on him, that season of night might be night for him until God calls him. So we must be careful what we do to another human being. We must be careful. It's not because you have strength now, you have the grace. There's something I call the grace of youth. The strength of youth. But remember that strength, as days go by, as years go by, it dwindles. Because if you have the job, if you have the energy to make money at some time, when you start getting old, that energy reduces. It's not like before. The thing that people I ask is that, because there's a saying, a wise person learns from the mistakes of others. You don't want to fall into that mistake by yourself before you learn. Learn from others. This is not the first time this is happening. In fact, there's a similar case, and the person is very, very close to me. Very, very close to me. These are all, the older people, yes. The husband is even late now. But when he was alive, he had money to spend. He had money to throw away, because he was you can imagine somebody in a position of an ambassador from Nigeria to another country. So he had money. And he kept his wife somewhere. The wife educated. He kept his wife somewhere and was running around town with chicks. How do you think she would feel? So she went through all those years. All those years alone. Her bed empty. Nobody to turn to apart from her children. Just like what happened in this particular case study. Nobody to turn to. And so, because see, children grow. By grace, children grow. By the time you knew her children, and they were abroad, and then I think when she went there, she started walking, and she started living, she lived close to her children. You know, but the guy, that job ended, and the way he ended, his job ended in shame. His job ended, he thought he was going to outsmart the government or something like that. He ended in shame, and so he wasn't giving the benefits from the job. So he only had to depend on the money he had saved. Only God knows how much he saved. Because with those chicks around, they're going to be spending heavily. They're going to be spending heavily. And so when the job was done, of course he had to come back to Nigeria. I won't call the name of the place. He went to, he went back to a particular state near home. And something happened. The way he died was that I think he was living with a houseboy. It wasn't even the wife that was, because you have not lived with her. This is a woman that you have not lived with for how many years. So it's like when your job is done, you now want to call her to come and start cooking for you, to come and start attending to you, to come and start comforting you. No, the woman refused. She refused. And so when he died, he wasn't even supposed to die. That's when he died. I think he slipped or something, but he died. And they didn't even know, because it was until later that the houseboy found him. But if his wife had been around and that thing happened, immediately they would have been able to rush him to hospital or so. He wouldn't have died. Maybe. So, but look at this story, this case study. How can you, because it's a shocker, man, seriously, it's a shocker to a woman that you make her promises and then you're not able to keep those promises because because of your flesh. That flesh someday will not be able to carry out the function it used to carry out when you were younger. Then what happens? Your eyes will be neat. So that's what happened to her. So she was there. He brought in another woman, and then you brought in this woman to come and live in the same house, drove your wife out of your matrimonial bed and room, drove her out, and then brought in this other one, gave her even the privilege of using the car, and your wife, the wife of your youth, was now made to be jumping boss. This woman said she would have left, but the thing that kept her, because of her children, apparently she needed the money from her husband also to be able to train her children. Because that's what most women do, man. That's what most women, because the women, when they have their children, their attention is, let me train my child. Let my child go to school. Let my child be able to enter university, come out from university. Because when that child comes out from university and starts working, my dear, her story has changed too. Because she will have comfort.